Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So tonight we're doing a mukbang, and it's kind of a little ghetto rigged right now, so I'm just gonna have to show you guys up close like what we're eating. So we made some chili cheese fries from the Potato Reset ebook. Look how amazing these look. Oh my god.
Can we start?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's been a long time since we've done a mukbang, and I figured now would be like, the best time. We've now gotten mostly settled in. So, yeah. And I posted on my Facebook and Instagram if anybody had any questions for us, and we got quite a few questions. But I know a lot of people wanted to know about our move, so figured we would talk about that first. And so if you didn't watch our previous videos, we were long distance, and so he moved from Indiana, I moved from Tennessee. It was like a 3-day trip. Sorry, I think our cat is about to cough up a hairball. Okay, anyway, so yeah, we just moved here to Phoenix on Friday. Like I said, it took us 3 days to get here, and thankfully our awesome friends Hannah and Derek let us stay in their Airbnb in Tucson while we were waiting for our permit to be ready. So I mean, it's like moving is already stressful enough, but like especially like having 3 pets in the car was a little bit crazy. But yeah, the move, overall went really well. And so we
in like 26 hours and 1,800 miles in 3 days.
Right. So my friend Val and I drove out, and him and his dad drove out, and so the first night we stopped in Van Buren, Arkansas. Night number 2 we stopped in Amarillo, Texas, and then at number 3 we were in Tucson, and then yeah, so we left on Friday from Tucson to get here to Phoenix.
What time did you guys end up leaving on Friday?
Like 7 p.m.
Yeah, so me and my dad on Friday, we left once I got off work at 4, so about 4:30 we ended up leaving. And then the whole plan was drive until we're tired. And then that kind of backfired because I didn't book a hotel. So I forgot, we were somewhere in, I think Missouri, I'm not sure where. But yeah, there was no vacancy pretty much anywhere. So we had to drive for about an hour to get to a place that actually had vacancy. So if you do that, yeah, plan ahead.
I planned ahead. I booked all of our hotels. But these chili cheese fries are freaking good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Real good. Good job, Janine.
Yeah, these are amazing. That cheese.
Yeah, it tastes awesome. So, anything else you want to say about the move? Oh my god. So, like when I picked up Val, like literally, we're on the road for like maybe 5 minutes, and we realize a freaking bee is in my car. And like this bee keeps like swarming like near my head, and I'm like freaking out, like swerving all over the road, trying not to die. And so that was really eventful, like have like this, it was like extreme driving with a bee in the car. And then Val and I's first night in a hotel, so I have 3 pets, Gracie, Aria, and Riley, 2 cats and a dog. And so in the morning when I woke up, I couldn't find Gracie. And I was like, where the heck is this cat? Like, it was a really tiny hotel, and like I literally looked everywhere for her. Come to find out, Gracie climbed up into the box spring of one of the mattresses in the hotel. So we had to like move this massive like queen mattress. It was really heavy. And then finally found Gracie. I was like freaking out. Like, if anybody knows me, I'm very protective over my animals. Like, they are my kids, like they are my life. I was so terrified. So yeah, our first 2 days were definitely very eventful. Yeah, so just wanted to share that craziness.
Yeah, my first 2 days were nothing like that at all. It was Other than the hotel having no vacancy in Missouri, so having to drive an hour, yeah, there was nothing. I mean, although I don't think we got to our hotel until about 2 in the morning, which I don't think you guys got there until, what, 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so then the following day, my second day, we ended up meeting up Valley and Val in Amarillo, Texas. A little hotel, I forgot, was it Red Roof Inn?
Yeah, Red Roof Inn.
Yeah, stopped there. Actually got some, oh, what was the restaurant? It was a pizza place.
I don't remember what it was called.
I want to say it was 575 degrees or something. I don't know. But anyway, so we were in Amarillo, Texas. There was a real nice, real good vegan restaurant there. Well, I don't think it wasn't a vegan restaurant, but they had vegan options.
Yeah.
And their pizza was actually very good. Recommend that if you ever go there.
Oh, yeah.
And then the third day, that was the drive to Tucson, which was that was a long haul because that was a 10-hour day for both of us. Because that time we were actually able to, you know, pretty much either Allie or Val was driving front and they would lead and we were following, or, you know, I was lead or me and my dad were lead and they were following. So, where do we stop? We stopped in Albuquerque there. Mm-hmm. A place called Vibrance Cafe.
Vibrance, yeah. It was an all vegan brunch buffet. Brunch buffet.
Yeah.
Everybody was crazy about it. I wasn't too crazy about it, but it was good. You know, it was okay. It was really healthy food, and like the people there were so nice.
It was amazing. She's downplaying it. For some reason, she didn't enjoy it, but
I wasn't a massive fan. That is one thing too, though. Like Val and I had amazing food on our way. We stopped at a place called the Loaded Bowl in Oklahoma City. Oh my gosh. So it was an all vegan place, and I got like, it was a chicken melt. Y'all, don't even get me started how freaking good it was. Like probably the best meal I've like ever had in my life. It was amazing. And then in Tucson, we ate at Loving Spoonfuls twice, and that place is fantastic. And so obviously I'm Southern since I'm from Tennessee, and I love fried foods. I love just Southern comfort foods, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna have that out in Arizona ever again. And sure enough, Loving Spoonfuls had a vegan fried chicken dinner. I mean, it was like literally massive, like a freaking like 10 pounds of food or whatever. It was really big. So yeah, we ate really great, definitely totally unhealthy, which is why we're doing this challenge, to kind of, you know, reset our taste buds. And we've been eating really good. So I think that's all I have to say about the move.
yeah, food-wise, she pretty much nailed it. We ate pretty much. I mean, I think my first meal with my dad was Taco Bell, just because we were stuck in Illinois. I think right around Springfield, so it was all just cornfields, nothing else. Yeah, so, and the only thing that we saw that actually had food that that had vegan options was Taco Bell. So it's like, well, that's where we're gonna eat. And then, we drove all the way until we got to the hotel. The following day, I wanted to just eat and then, drive as much as we could, so we ended up going to Chipotle. Just got one of their salad bowls, just so that way, I can get enough calories and everything and feel full, so that way we wouldn't have to stop and eat again. And that's essentially how it was. We didn't eat again until it was that night when we were in Texas, when we met up in Amarillo. We got that vegan pizza. And then, yeah, you already heard about Tucson, where we ate Loving Spoonfuls. I think we had a couple meals there, I forgot. We made some at Hannah and Derek's.
Yeah, and then we went to a meetup that Hannah and Derek put on at an Indian place called Govinda's in Tucson. It was really, really good. So it was an all vegan buffet there as well. Their cashew dressing for salads was unbelievably amazing. Oh my gosh. I could literally eat that cashew dressing. Sorry, it's a little spicy. I could eat that dressing like a million times a day, for reals. It was so good.
Well, I mean, everybody there was raving about that dressing. That stuff was, yeah.
10 out of 10.
So, what was it, Govinda's?
Yeah.
If you want to put the recipe down below, feel free.
Oh, Govinda's, if you're watching this, which you're probably not. But if you are, yeah, give us that.
There's a slight chance you are, share the wealth.
Give us that cashew dressing. Yeah. So, I guess we'll get up into these questions. Our first question is, why did we choose to move to Arizona? I'll let you go ahead and answer that.
Well, I mean, I think we both have kind of varying reasons why, because that was part of the thing that we talked about when we first met was, you know, I wanted to move to Arizona, you wanted to move to Arizona. Part of the reason I've always wanted to go to Arizona, well, I mean, first off, their number one gun laws, they do have a huge vegan community. And one thing that, I mean, I learned from you was their activism. They're real big on the activism community. So you have the vegan community plus the activism side of it, which is one side that I'm starting into and actually really enjoy. And then plus, I mean, just all the scenery, it's beautiful out here. Plus, I was deficient in vitamin D. So if I'm deficient in vitamin D, it's my fault now. Like, the sun is up from about, what, 6 in the morning to about 8:30 at night. So
I'd say more like 7:30 at night.
Well, yeah, we were in the pool, yeah, so it definitely went down a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I was behind the building, so it wasn't sunset just yet. But, yeah, so those are my reasons for wanting to move to Arizona.
So I've always wanted to move to Phoenix. Just like my whole adult life, I've just always been obsessed with it. Even before I had even visited, I knew I wanted to live here. I have family out here. My aunt and uncle and grandma live here. And they're all vegan, which is amazing. And they literally live like right across the road from us, which is perfect. We have been over there like a million times since we've moved here. Oh, and my mom. My mom moved here too. A few days before we left. So I've got my mom. I am a weirdo. I like the heat. So the weather definitely enticed me. And like Zach was saying, like they have a very big vegan community, a very big activism community, which we're actually going to go do our first activism event on Friday night, which we are super excited about, you know, to meet more vegans, meet more activists, and, you know, be active. So yeah, those are our reasons for moving to Phoenix.
One of the things that I left out was, I don't want them to feel left out either. So my brother and sister, they live in California. My sister's in LA, Pasadena area, brother's in San Diego. So here is definitely a lot closer than Indiana. So I think they're about a 5.5 hour drive away, both of them. So once we all get settled, because that's the other thing, like you saw in the other video, if you watched, which if you didn't, shame on you. You know, how our background was a little messy. Like we just moved in, we slept in our bed for the first time. What was that?
Last night.
Yeah.
Last night was the first time we slept in our bed. We have been sleeping on
an air mattress.
Yeah, an air mattress in our living room, because we bought a memory foam mattress, which takes like 48 to 72 hours to expand, and then
ours took longer.
Ours took a while, and then we also bought a bed from IKEA, so it took him like a day and a half to build that as well. So yeah, last night was our first night in our bed, in our room, which felt so nice. Our bed is so freaking comfortable. Love it.
Mm-hmm. And then this is, what should we call it? Yeah, so this is, right now we're working on a hand-me-down table. You know, it works, gets the job done.
Yeah, my grandma gave me this table, which is super awesome of her. Yeah, my family's been super amazing since we lived here. Like my aunt and my mom have like, you know, helped me with so much, especially my aunt. Like she's helped, like we've been borrowing stuff from her like left and right, and she's cooked us dinner our first night when we got here. My family is amazing.
That curry.
Yeah, it was good.
If you ever get a chance to try Aunt Jana's curry, highly recommend it.
Say Aunt Jana?
Sure did.
Sorry, you guys, this is super freaking messy, but it's so delicious. So our next question is, how is it living with the boyfriend so far? Which I guess we should generalize that to how it would be.
Say, where's my boyfriend?
How it would be living together. So, I mean, like, moving is super stressful. You know, like, moving in general is super stressful. And then add on, you know, moving across the country, add on 3 pets, and then add on, like, having nothing, which makes the move easier. But, like, when you get settled in, like, we have to buy everything. So, I mean, the first few days, it was a little stressful, and we were, you know, a little short with each other, and, but now that everything's kind of settled in, like, I think we've always communicated very well. Like, when we would, like, be short with each other and, like, kind of snap, we're always, like, after we calm down, we're like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, you know, I shouldn't have taken that out on you, or whatever. So I'm really glad that we communicate well with that. You know, we never like to be angry at each other, which really never happens. We don't fight. Like we might, like, you know, like, just kind of, like...
We might have disagreement here and there, but it's not one yelling at the other person.
No, like, that's never happened, ever, and we're not going to let that get to that point,
well, that
you know?
one rule we've always had is we've always said we're not going to go to bed angry.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't do anything.
No,
It's just,
totally.
yeah.
Well, and I'm the kind of person, like, I can't move on until I talk about it. You know, so it's like, if there's an issue, like, it has to be discussed and then I can move on. But honestly, I love living together. It's really amazing. Because again, like I said, hi Aria.
Oh yeah, she's in the video.
Yeah, this is Aria, our little...
This was one hacking up a hairball earlier.
Yeah, my little redhead. Yeah, I love living together because, you know, before, like, with us being long distance, please don't look that over, Aria. We were 6.5 hours away from each other, so I wish you guys could see Aria right now.
T-Rex thing.
She's trying to get on the counter. There she goes. We got to see each other a great amount, but it was, like, never long enough, you know? Like, we would spend, like, weeks together, and, like, the second he left, I missed him like crazy. So it's really nice living with my best friend, and, like, we do everything together. It's nice. So yeah, I love living together.
I would have to agree. Say it's been great. And once we get everything settled, it's going to be even better. And then plus, once it's no longer summer, oh, yeah, there she is. Once it's no longer summer here, because that was, I think yeah, that's right. We talked about it before, and the whole plan in moving out here was not to do it in July. And
not to do it in summer, period.
Yeah. Yeah, and we did it in one of the worst months possible, to where, you know, where it's literally at the hottest and they're breaking records out here. So, you know, baptized by fire. But, because one of the reasons why we talked about wanting to move out here as well was hiking. Like, the trails out here are unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So once we're all settled in, we got our camelbacks. So once the heat kind of goes away, we're going to be out hiking pretty much every chance we have possible. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So, our next question is, how did we meet? We met on a Facebook group called Vegan Singles. And he had, like, on his profile, like, how he really wanted to move to Arizona at some point. And, you know, again, like, I've always wanted to move here as well. So that was, like, the main reason that I messaged him, because, like, we had something in common, something to talk about. Because his other things, like they weren't in common, you know? Like, he was, like, talking about, like, guns and cigars, and I was just like, okay, like, how am I going to start a conversation with that? And then I saw Arizona, I was like, okay, cool. So, yeah.
None of the guns?
I don't care. So, yeah, I messaged him, and then the rest is history. So, yeah, Vegan Singles on Facebook. Check it out if you're single and vegan. Go for it.
Which, if you watched our first mukbang, you would have known that. So if you didn't know that, shame on you.
Oh my god. And so next question is, why did we go vegan? As you can see, my shirt says I support animal rights, so I definitely went vegan for the animals. I have always been a massive animal lover since I was like probably in the womb, you know, like if you see pictures of me as a kid, I'm always with animals. Like I'm holding a kitten or a dog, or I'm like with pigs and horses. Like I've always loved animals. But, you know, I didn't realize that what was on my plate, you know, was a living, breathing animal. I transitioned slowly, only because I didn't know any better. I started off pescatarian and then vegetarian and finally vegan. But again, all for the animals all the time. I'm just now recently more into the health and environmental side aspect of it. But hardcore for the animals. I'm definitely an animal rights activist. That's like my passion in life. That's what I was meant to do, is be a voice for the voiceless. And I can just like feel you watching me. So.
Because you can see it too.
Yeah, well that too, but I could just like feel it. But yeah, so that was my reason. Always the animals.
So mine, I don't know. So I got it mixed up when I first went. I technically was plant-based because I did it more for health reasons. My sister and my cousin, they were both vegan for the longest time, and I was always the meathead in the family. You know, I was doing like a bodybuilding regimen at the time, and they figured if they can, you know, get me to go vegan, then a lot of the guys in the family would go. So I figured I'd give it 4 months, and after 4 months, if I was losing weight, or if I wasn't, my weights in the gym were going down, that I was gonna go back to eating meat. After 4 months, I had no desire, like my weights were going up, and then over time, I kind of put 2 and 2 together with, you know, just not only the health aspects of it, but like Allie was saying, like the whole animal side of it. Like, you know, I saw the watch videos and stuff, and, you know, saw the slaughterhouses and the dairy industry and all that. And that's what I really, you know, kind of, it's like, I think that was probably 2.5 years ago. And, yeah.
Apartment life.
And, yeah, so that's when I kind of, you know, because I've always kind of done health. I mean, here and there, there'd be, you know, some slip-ups, but that was more on the plant-based. But once I kind of, you know, went vegan and actually dropped the plant-based and went, you know, started following the vegan side, that's when I actually, you know, started eating better and actually, what should we call it? Well, I wouldn't even say that, because Chicago Diner, like, it's vegan, not healthy though. Some of the best food you'll ever have. If you haven't been, go try their Reuben. You will not be disappointed.
Aww.
What?
I'm out of fries.
Well, yeah, and there's no more over there, so that's it.
Oh man, I've got so much cheese sauce left. So yeah, Yvonne, I know last time I did my mukbang, she's like, you're supposed to eat all your food. I ate all my food this time, and I wanted to, you know, finish the cheese sauce, but there's no more fries, so that just little disclaimer of why there's so much left on my plate. So yeah, that's our vegan stories. So this first question is, how do we feel about the Arizona weather? I personally love it. Again, like I said earlier, I love the heat. I hate being cold. I get cold very easily. I have not been cold really since we've been here. I mean, in our apartment, it's very comfortable. Like, it's definitely not hot in our apartment. Like, it's perfect temperature. But outside, I mean, again, I love it, but you do have to be careful out there. In Tucson, our first day in Tucson, I got heat exhaustion because I was outside for like 3 hours in the pool. And I didn't drink any water because I was fine, you know, like I was in the pool, like I was very cooled down. I wasn't thirsty, but I realized like you really have to hydrate out here because it is very hot. It's a dry heat. I think our high today was like maybe 108. It's always been over 100 though since we've been in Arizona. I mean, except for at night. It cools down a little bit at night, but like, you know, maybe like 90s at night. But yeah, I love the weather.
I mean, I really enjoy it. I work during the day, so like I don't get to, well, and that's the other thing. Most people will tell you that don't go out from about noon to 3. That's when it's the hottest. That's when the sun's literally just sitting there baking on you. And you, even like when we went for a walk tonight, like there's nobody out. I feel like nobody goes outside out here, which is just weird to me. Because it's gorgeous out here. Yeah, so I definitely am a fan of the weather. I know the one thing that they do recommend is if you are going to work out, it's either in the morning or late at night, which I do the morning just because it's still, like even late at night, it's still warm. I think it's too warm to work out. So I usually go for 4 a.m., go for a run and do bodyweight calisthenics. And then the only thing, which I know if you watched the last video, was the cold showers. Here, you don't really get, it's the one thing I can say that I do miss. It's the ice cold showers. Because the water here isn't ice cold. It's cold, but it's definitely not ice cold. So it gets the job done.
Yeah, I don't do the ice cold showers. No.
Weirdo.
So the next question was, what's it really like to live in a desert? Is it as bad as everyone says? So like I said, living in a desert, it's very dry, it's very hot, but honestly it's gorgeous out here. I will have to show you guys at some point our view, like just outside of our window. I mean, like you've got palm trees everywhere, and then you've got the mountains in the background, North Mountain, which we have hiked before. It was a freaking brutal hike, but it was amazing, beautiful scenery.
Have to show them the view from my office.
Yeah, he has a beautiful view from his office up there. So we have a 1-bedroom loft. So the loft upstairs is his office, and he has amazing views. Like we have huge windows here in our living room. Like it's very high vaulted ceiling. When we get everything together, I'll do an apartment tour, because I know I've had several people ask me for an apartment tour. Today is like the first day that I've gotten most of our things together. But I'll show you guys at some point our views. So yeah, I think living in a desert is amazing. Because back home, we both had to deal with a lot of humidity, and I'm not a fan of humidity at all. It's like choking you, you know. So yeah, living in a desert is great. I love it.
Well, that and then the humidity, like, because here there's pools everywhere. So our apartment complex has 4 pools. I'm not sure how many hot tubs. I know the pool that's close to us has a hot tub. I know the main pool has a hot tub. But the cool thing about it is with zero humidity and how hot it is here, as soon as you get out, you're dry within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's nice. I thought that was phenomenal, because instead of just being there like dripping wet and uncomfortable, you're dry and warm like that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Totally.
So, and everybody has a pool. So.
Yeah.
And if they're not heated, just make sure they get sunlight. They'll be heated.
Yeah, totally. So like we have 4 pools to choose from here, and then like I said, my aunt that lives across the road from us, she also has a pool, and we've swam over there before. So yeah, we've basically got like 5 pools to choose from, so we're pretty lucky. Next question is, what are your near future plans? So our near future, that's kind of...
I don't know, because everybody's definition in near future, like what is...
A little something for your teeth.
Yeah, let's just say it. They won't be able to see it. And if you can, don't worry about it.
I can see it.
Yeah.
So, what are like our end goals? I don't know how like near future. Like we want to, get our own land, build our own house, and definitely first thing is get a pig, like 100%. Like I cannot wait to get a pig.
You land first.
So yeah, again, I don't know how near future that is, but it's definitely what we're working towards.
I would like to shoot for a year, although I realize, that's kind of what we've been here
Since Friday.
Yeah, since Friday. So yeah.
Not even a week yet.
So I don't know. We have a lot we have to figure out first before we can even kind of. It's funny. That was one of the things we actually talked about before the mukbang. Before I even knew that question was coming up. At the pool, we were talking about we're going to write down our plans for, I guess, the near future. I don't know what you guys consider the near future to be. So, but yeah, we were going to write down a list of plans and goals, stuff we wanted to, obtain and everything or reach.
Yeah.
So, Haven't made that list yet. But one of the big things that we have talked about is we do want to own our own land. One thing I've been looking into, which we talked about, was like either a tiny home or an earthship. Or earthships are like rammed earth house, kind of similar. Earthships, it's all recycled material like tires, I think pop cans and aluminum, parts from like dryers and washers and stuff. But the cool thing with those is like they actually, and then you position like your windows a certain way so essentially the sun heats your house. And then if it's a warm climate, since you have your walls are almost 2 to 3 feet thick, it insulates the house so it stays cool all summer long. And then in the winter, it stays nice and warm. So you don't have to use any AC or heat. And then you actually have a gray water system installed in there as well. So that way, any water you use, you reuse to grow your plants. So very zero waste. And then again, we'll have our own land, so we'll be able to have animals. Have my own shooting range, so yeah, it works out for everybody.
I just want a pig. I don't care about anything else. Just give me my pig. Okay, so how do you like living in Arizona? We answered that earlier. We love it.
Multiple times.
Yeah. And how do another question was how do we like living together, which we answered in the beginning.
2 big thumbs up.
Yeah, totally. It's like so weird. And then how's the vegan scene? The vegan scene here.
Couldn't tell you.
So we haven't like went out with other people yet. Like I said, we're doing our first activism on Friday. But like the vegan food here is amazing. Like, oh my gosh, you guys. So we went to a place called.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
We went to Green in Phoenix, which they have these things called Big Wax, which is basically just a vegan version of a Big Mac. And then we got some East Coast style fries, which had
it was ranch, buffalo sauce, and then was it? I forgot what kind of cheese, but it was like melted cheese. Yeah, but that was amazing. The Big Whack, if you haven't had that yet, you need to.
Totally.
And then after you go to Green, you go
to Nami.
Yeah, which is literally across the parking lot, which I guess they're owned by the same people.
Yeah, they are.
Which is genius.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, Nami is some of the best. It almost reminds me of Cold Stone, but a vegan Cold Stone, better.
Yeah, so Nami is an all vegan. It's like an ice cream shop. So they've got also donuts and they've got coffee.
Oh yeah, because I got that. It's called the Pineapple Express. So it's actually pretty good. It was different.
I took a sip and like the face that I made, he like died, like just laughing. I was like, I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not even a caffeine drinker. So drinking that espresso, it like.
So it was literally fresh
God.
Squeezed pineapple juice topped with espresso, which sounded weird, but I'm like, I'll try it. And I thought it was actually pretty good. This one, on the other hand, yeah, no, not so much.
No. So yeah, Green and Nami, and then we went to a place called Pizza Heaven. So Pizza Heaven is not an all vegan place, but they have a fantastic vegan menu. And we found a Groupon for Pizza Heaven, so we got just a ton of food. So our appetizer was veggie balls, which they reminded me a lot of Hush Puppies, which I loved Hush Puppies. And then we got some big ziti, and then this agave barbecue pizza. Oh my gosh, amazing. And then we got angel bites, which were beignets. And then there was like a pecan berry pie, which so freaking good.
Both of them were good, but if you only get to choose one dessert, go with the angel bites, which is the beignet.
Yeah, totally.
Because the pie, you only get a little triangular slice. The beignet, you get something about this size with like a chocolate dipping sauce. It's covered in powdered sugar. Yeah, it's delicious.
Amazing.
And you get a lot of it, so go with that one. I think it's cheaper. Makes no sense to go with the beignet.
So good. And then we went to a place called Veggie Village, which my favorite food has always been Chinese. And there was never any vegan Chinese restaurants in Tennessee. I mean, like there were some restaurants that had like options, but I mean, like a whole like vegan Chinese was just insane. So we got the crab rangoon, and I have always wanted that veganized and like never could find it, and so we found it there, and then so good. And I got sesame chicken, which they like had it like half and half between like mushrooms and soy based, and they were both fantastic. And then I got some hot and sour soup, and I thought that meal was like 10 out of 10. Like vegan Chinese is like just sign me right the heck up. So yeah.
What did I get? I got the vegetable curry, which I guess isn't all that Chinese.
No, and that would have been like the last thing that I would have ordered from that place. Like I don't know why you did that.
Because I wanted curry.
No.
I didn't necessarily want a bunch of soy meat. I don't know. Because we were going to start eating healthier, so I didn't want to like load up my system with all the junk. I wanted to eat somewhat clean or somewhat, better before going to, really healthy. But
Yeah, that was our last meal before we started this fruits and roots challenge.
I didn't want something super heavy.
So for me, like once I eat like a ton of junk food, like I get to the point where I'm so overeating junk. There's Gracie. I don't know if you can really see her. The cat. Yeah, so like once I eat so much junk, like I'm just to the point where I'm so over junk food that like my body is craving healthy foods. My body's like, look, stop feeding us crap, So I was really ready to eat clean on Monday, and yeah. So again, don't 100% know the vegan scene because we haven't been out yet, but I can tell you the vegan food is fantastic.
Yeah, because the couple of days that we had planned to actually go out and meet up with the vegan community here, I was in the bedroom making the bed. Because IKEA sucks and it takes days to build. So
IKEA rocks in the sense of like their products are really cheap and like awesome, but yeah, it's definitely a struggle getting that all together, which I didn't do too much. That was all.
Well, that and they totally like chipped us apart.
Yeah, totally. So we're like
so technically that bed would have been done in one day, but I didn't have a part, so I had to like stop and move on to other things, and then couldn't finish it. So
yeah.
Thanks, IKEA.
So then another question was, someone asked like what do we recommend for like healthy snacks and healthy meals?
Dates and figs.
Yeah, so I always recommend like my top healthy snack for anybody would be fruit, because fruit is extremely easy. Like fruit's the original fast food, like you grab an apple, grab some grapes, and for me, like I get full off of grapes and watermelon and apples. So I think those are amazing healthy snacks. And so for healthy meals, I mean, like right now, like, just watch the videos that I've been making. We've been making very healthy meals. So like some of my favorites that are non-potato meals would be like a taco bowl. So rice, black beans, corn, avocado, and salsa. That's a great one. Sorry. She's got like her hair in my nose. And then cheesy mashed potatoes that I posted yesterday from the Lean and Clean book. So I mean, really just focus your meals on whole foods. So, nothing processed, definitely no oils, no matter what, no oils. If you need to cook, use like water and veggie broth instead. So, focus on your meals like on potatoes because those are very satiating, and of course extremely healthy and also very cheap. So those are my tips for that. You have any that you want to add?
For snacks?
Or snacks or meals?
Snacks or meals? My always go-to are anything with chickpeas. I can live off of chickpeas. So whether you make a chicken salad out of chickpeas or tuna salad out of chickpeas, or chickpeas and avocado mash, or curry chickpeas, roasted chickpeas. It's like the bubba gump of chickpeas essentially. So But yeah, I could live off chickpeas. And like I said, for snacks, like I could eat dates and figs all day long. Any kind of fruit.
Yeah.
So like today, I think my breakfast, what did I have? I had
Strawberries.
Yeah, 2 containers of strawberries was my breakfast. What did we have for lunch? Oh, that cheddar broccoli soup.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good.
It was really good. And like I leave in the description box below, I leave ebooks that I recommend that are all very clean recipes. So you can also check those out in the description box below. And so the last question for me was, did I transfer jobs, or like what's my job situation? So unfortunately, I was not able to work remotely, so I wasn't able to transfer my job out here. So I am on the job hunt right now. I have been applying on Indeed every single day. So if anybody that lives in Phoenix knows of anybody hiring, let your girl know. So yeah, that was all the questions that we had.
Yeah, so I already talked about it, but since my job, I work remote, so I was able to, I just had to tell them like, hey, I moved to Phoenix, I had to do a couple tax things, and once I did that, then I was good. So, and change my hours, because technically Virginia's time would be, their 9 to 5 would be our 6 to 2. So I talked to my manager about that, and she's like, no, we'll have you do 7 to 3, which is their 10 to 6. So that way, it gives, since I'm a technical writer, it gives us a little more time, because one of the other technical writers, he works earlier, and then one of the other ones works a little bit later. So it kind of covers us all on all bases. So we have somebody early, somebody in the afternoon time, and then someone a little bit later. So it ended up kind of working out perfect for me. Not so much for you, but
It's all right.
So you weren't happy with that job, so you'll find, a better one where you actually want to work, so.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm not stressing too much about it. I mean, I have hope that the right job will come whenever it's meant to, so yeah. But I think that is all for tonight's mukbang. We will do another one, I don't know when, because honestly, like I said in the beginning of this video, it's kind of like rigged. We've got like the tripod up there on like our bar counter, and it was like such a hassle getting this all together. So probably until we get a bigger table or something better set up, probably won't be doing any mukbangs for a while.
We had to rearrange everything just to do this, and then it's still kind of, if you can just see the angle, it's a little.
Right, I know it's a little far, but.
So yeah, we tested the sound before, so hopefully you guys could hear us. If not,
sorry.
Yeah. We'll do another one eventually. So.
Yeah, we'll definitely do another one eventually, but we just kind of wanted to sit down and talk to you guys, since it's been a while since we've, sat down and talked, and it's been a while since, I've had you in a video. Like, you've only been in my mukbang video.
Well, no.
Well, no, that's not true.
The last one was all me. And then I'm like, are you literally just recording me this whole time?
Yeah, yesterday that was mainly on him. Because, so I film off of my phone, and I have an iPhone. And so like when you're filming, if it's faced on Zach, I can't switch it back on me while it's recording. So like if I wanted to film him and then film me, I would have to film him, stop, and then reverse it back to me. So it's kind of just super annoying and frustrating. So I just, if I'm focusing on something, then I just leave it on there for a while. So yeah, it was mostly Zach in the video yesterday, but before that it had been a long time, so. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and make sure you're subscribed.
Oh, you got your tail in the sauce.
Oh my gosh.